welcome to episode 396 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for November 19th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Not much, man. We getting that cold chill, man. Now, man, it's winter's here.
Oh yeah,
winter's here. It's no more of these warm days. I know they're going to be having a blizzard up in the north around the Buffalo area. I know that because they moved the game to Detroit.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, so because they moved the game to Detroit, but they're not playing Detroit till next week. They're playing Cleveland. So Cleveland and Buffalo will be playing in Detroit, and so that's nice of them. But people, this is what you just like. People just don't fucking care. You hear people bitching. They're like, "Oh, this is bullshit. They can play in the snow. People play in the snow." I said, they doing this? And man, they're making it an advantage for the Bills because they know all Cleveland can do is run, and if it's snowing, they're gonna beat them. I was like, "Yo, are y'all serious?" I mean, dude. First off, yes, but I don't know. Listen, I honestly don't know how bad it snowed those other times it snowed in Buffalo. But reasonably, I never think they should have done it if it's like a blizzard or something happened.
Yeah.
Because even though some people say, they're like, well, it's going to stop. It's going to stop by Sunday. But it's like, yeah, but people have to get there. They have to. It's not like they just be there and that's it. And then you have to have people out there shoveling. For like what time will it stop? And you gotta have it in time for the game to start. And then like the whole thing with the snow plowers and stuff like that. Like, why use them for the game? Use them in the residential areas or stores where people can get to. Like, that'll be the most important stuff because they gonna be like, oh, these are just like they're gonna take these they have their own plowers, you know. And they only work here. No, they're gonna get another private company, but that private company not gonna be working probably somewhere that'll be much more needed because they'll be worried about the football game. So yeah, I'm like, dude, it's a blizzard. Stop bitching. It's like, dude, it's a fucking game. And people gotta get over this. It's like, dude, it's a fucking game. At the end of the day, it's a game, and like, shit happens. All right, so. Yeah, so that's happened. My Washington Commanders defeated the undefeated Eagles.
Wild.
We did it again. We did it again to another Pennsylvania team. We did it 2 years ago against Pittsburgh when they were undefeated and we beat them. And then we did it to the Eagles. Yeah, we're like, yes, we may suck, but we're just gonna ruin y'all day too. See, we're gonna ruin y'all thing. So we helped the Miami Dolphins. What year is that? Is that 79? I forgot the year. The Miami Dolphins went undefeated. But they always say they pop their champagne bottles when the last team loses, like, so they keep the undefeated record. So, yeah. Now people are having a little tiny bit of hope for Washington. I just have a feeling it's going to probably be spoiled today. But nah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say we're a good team. We have some good players on the team, and that's about all I can say. And Ron Rivera, our coach, he's known for always having these late starts, like teams get it going later. I hate that because I'm like, I just want to have a time where Washington just starts out good. I'm like, yo, I just haven't had that in so freaking long. That why does it always have to be like these late starts or these runs to have a chance to get to the playoffs? But our division is tight.
Keep it interesting for you, Dominic.
I mean, it's enough interest. It's enough off the field interest. It's enough off the field interest with that damn team. So that NFC East is looking like one of the best divisions next to the AFC East because their last place team, I think, is a winning record also. Well, technically, we're not even a winning record. We're just a tie record. I think they actually have a winning record. So, yeah, both those divisions, they're in a tight race. Well, ours ain't really that tight because of the Eagles, because they haven't, like, we're pretty far from the Eagles, like, for getting first place, while in the AFC East, it's not that far. away from first place. Because the Bills did lose last week to the Vikings, and I do root for Kirk Cousins because I always felt like we should never had let him go. And man, that was a great game. That was like the best game probably this year between those two teams. It was an incredible catch by Jefferson. That's probably the catch of, well, it's definitely catch of the year, but people are kind of comparing it if it's the best catch ever. So it's up there. But yeah, that was just such a great game. It was a close game. Vikings came through. Bills had a chance. They just lost it. And so now people are questioning how good the Bills are. But even though I still think they're good, I just think that, hey, there's some improbable things happen. Now, I can't explain the Jets game. Now, that game, I can't explain why they lost that game. But I give credit to the Jets. I mean, the Jets are okay. They're actually okay this year, record-wise. But they're playing the Patriots, who they haven't beaten in, so long. They have not beaten the Patriots. Yeah. This will be the year. But they played them earlier. I think they lost. And it's darn, that was a chance for y'all to beat them. And now they're playing them again in New England. So it was can y'all beat them this time? I don't know. I think New England, I think Bill Belichick is nah, these people ain't never going to beat us. So I think he's not going to let that happen. Aaron Rodgers lost Thursday, the Thursday night game, after they did beat the Cowboys, though. So it was looking hopeful. Yeah. But then their hope just got smothered. And it was because the Titans smothered it. And it was okay, so nope, they're not going to be doing anything. Tom Brady and them, though, they did win in Germany, bastards. So I'm upset about that. So the best team in the league that looks right now, if you want to say, is Kansas City, which has been probably the best team in the last few years. They won one Super Bowl, and they just got beat in the playoffs. But they've been good. They've been really good. So right now, if I was going to pick up somebody to at least go to Super Bowl, I know I would say they would go. But I mean, I could see them losing in this playoffs too. But it's just that they look like the favorite. I was going to flip the favorite now. They will be it. I'm just surprised that my prediction of the Redskins, the Commanders, are actually coming true. Because I said that they were split with the Eagles. Now, I don't remember if I said it was going to win the last game or the first time we played the Eagles. Mm-hmm. But I said it was split. And the record, I had us going being 5-5 at this point. The only difference is that I definitely didn't have us beating Green Bay. And I had us beating the Lions. So it just switched those.
Yeah.
So it's happening that way. I just didn't expect our team to look the way it does. I thought we'd look a little bit better. I thought Carson Wentz would still be quarterback. And I thought we'll look a little more efficient, but we're just not good enough to beat some teams. So I was we're just not that good enough. It seems like we got to that point now, but we'll see. Other than that, that's it for football. Basketball, Wizards are still kind of in the middle. They lost, but they lost to a very the youngest team in the NBA. If you're a decent team, you should beat them. And we lost by 1 point by a buzzer shot. And then we played against Miami recently, and we did beat them, but Miami was out almost all their stars. Only one of the stars was there. Mm-hmm. And we had to go to overtime against them. So I'm this doesn't look good. It's that should have been a easier win. You should have just won. And you had a battle. We had a battle to come back and just win in overtime. So I don't know. I hope things just get worked out. They had their 20th. They had their the 20th anniversary of their because of the team. Yes, but the 20th anniversary of the Wizards, the Wizards being the Wizards since they changed from the Bullets. Okay. And then they had yesterday, Friday, they had the big three that used to be on the team: Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, and Antoine Jameson. And that's the best of the Wizards' time. Because they were good. We got to playoffs. We just always get to the second round and lose. But we were great. It was so fun to watch Wizards games. It was just so fun. I wanted to watch the Wizards because of those guys. And it's just that we could never get over the hump. But man, those are the best times of basketball for me as far as a local fan. And I mean, it just got. I mean, injuries start happening with players, and then I remember that incident with the gun with Gilbert Arenas, and the locker room thing happening. Yeah, and then it went pretty much downhill from there for a while until we got John Wall, then eventually Bradley Beal. But it still hasn't been up to that par like we used to have when those three was all there. Yeah. I was hoping that with John Wall and Bradley Beal, we'll get one more player. Like one time we got Paul Pierce, but we got Paul Pierce when he was old.
Right.
And we did good. We went to the second round, but we just couldn't get past it. And then we had before that we had forgot his name.
Michael Jordan.
No, yeah, well, no, not that. I forgot what we had, but that was actually before Paul Pierce, and we were decent then. But it wasn't really like a big three. It was good, but it was like we knew we needed somebody like a star. That's what we was always hoping. Like, oh, we might get Kevin Durant to come here, but KD all kept saying, "Oh no," because of family. Like, say, people will be hitting me up and stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, they can't hit you up now? What's the difference? It's like you're only in New York. It ain't like you. It's like they can just drive there. So yeah, I was like, damn man, KD didn't even want to come here, so we just couldn't get that other big star. So I just hope, like, hey, someone just comes to be a star, but I don't know. Yeah, because I definitely don't see us winning this year. But I just want to see some good games. Just see some good basketball games, because I'm like, whatever. My basketball has just kind of waned on me. Like, I'm just watch the Wizards, and I'll pretty much play for the playoffs because, shucks, this early season basketball, it's a lot of people injured or just not playing. It's just like in a sloppy ball. It's like, good God. It's like, and it's like they shot themselves in the foot with this 82 game season shit. Like, it shouldn't have been 82 games. Like, this is too many, especially what the players are now. Like, they see what their worth is. They're not going to be playing all these games. Like, well, I want to try to play 82 games
right
in the season. You know, that I can get hurt or something like that. Nah, they're going to be resting. And I'm like, darn, man. That's why I wish it was like a 60 game at most. Because if you want to get to the playoffs, man, you're only missing too many games. So you're going to be really, if you're like, you're going to have to be really injured. Like, if you want to be out. Not like, oh, I'm a little hurt. And then suddenly I'm just going to rest a bit. Other than that, I think that's it. Yeah, that's really it for sports I've been watching. So, main wrestling news?
AEW's pay-per-view. What is the pay-per-view called? Holy shit. I'm blanking right now, but one of their big shows is going to be this weekend. Actually, tonight when we're recording this, it's going to be a Saturday pay-per-view, which I always appreciate because, especially AEW, they go super late because they do them so infrequently. Kind of the big match here is going to be Jon Moxley, who is the current AEW champion, versus MJF. It seems like it's pretty much a given that MJF is going to take the belt off of him. Jon Moxley's got the title right now basically because of the whole CM Punk situation that happened at the last pay-per-view and him having to basically relinquish the title and disappear from all existence, although now he's doing like MMA commentary. So he's actually out there kind of publicly, and the other big thing happening at Full Gear is the pay-per-view name. The other big thing that's happening is the Elite, Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega are returning on this show. They kind of did it they kind of announced it in the most anticlimactic way possible, just by showing their image on the Tron, saying like, hey, they're going to be there at the pay-per-view. But that will be the first time they are appearing on AEW television live since the whole event that happened at the last AEW pay-per-view. So it seems like things are finally shaking out and resolving themselves. It seems like CM Punk's not going to be back, but who knows? Wrestling's a weird thing, and the reality is he's not going to be back anytime soon, strictly because he's injured. So if he does, work whatever he needs to out with the company and come back when he's healed up again, maybe that's a thing that happens. But the fact that basically every time he's been in the ring in the past like 6 months or whatever it was from the last incident, he's gotten injured, it makes you wonder if he's just, past his ability to withstand in the ring at this point. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that tonight. Next week is the WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view. They always do that the weekend of Thanksgiving. And this year that's going to be a War Games situation, which is like the two rings smashed together with a big cage around them. They've been doing that the past couple of years in NXT. So that should be a lot of fun because that's going to be the Bloodline, which is like Roman Reigns and the Usos and the new Uso, who is Solo Sikoa. That's actually the Usos' real life brother. He's now part of the group, but also Sami Zayn because he's just doing hilarious shit with the Bloodline right now as an honorary Uso. And that's going to be versus like Drew McIntyre, Sheamus and his group, and we just found out last night Kevin Owens, which should be a lot of fun because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have this long storied rivalry of friendship turned betrayal and stuff. So that should be good. I'll maybe talk about that more next weekend. But I'll definitely probably talk about it more the following week once that event actually happens. So yeah, wrestling's all right.
All right. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So yeah, haven't really watched anything new. So what you been watching?
So because you were talking about White Lotus, I finally jumped on board and watched a couple episodes of that. I think I am currently into episode 4. Basically, the last episode was the one where the one woman goes to spread the ashes of her mother.
Yeah,
you're right about that. Like it's not a laugh out loud comedy, but it definitely is funny, and it is extremely dark at the same time. Like you were kind of laughing at the absurdity of the situation.
Yeah,
more than anything. I mean, although like it's hard not to laugh at the one dude who's like the newlywed, just being
he is such a child.
Dicks. Yeah,
and
a spoiled child because like his family is rich, so he's like, you're not giving me the honeymoon suite. How dare you give me this like suite that is almost just as good but has a better view.
Day. Like you got this nice view. It's still a nice view. And you're gonna find out later on, like the other room is not. Listen, the guy wasn't really lying about it not being much better. He wasn't lying.
That's great.
And so I'm like, darn. Man, this dude, he's just a spoiled. He's a spoiled rich kid who got everything his way. So you're gonna get something his way. He's got wah. He got to cry.
Yep. Yeah.
But I like that woman. I like that there. This little nice romantic dinner got ruined just because of that. He was only doing it because he's saying, I hope you're not doing it just because I said that. It's like, of course he is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he doesn't have any thoughts of his own outside of.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is all about revenge and having sex with her. That's kind of that's the extent. And I'm not even sure if it's like sex with her. He's just like sex because he was hitting on those young girls.
Yeah, I thought he was. I was very confused at first because I thought he was going to like do something like to them or something because of what she told him about them. And then he was just talking and flirting. I was like, what the? Yeah, he is a dick. I said that guy is a dick.
Like, yeah, like what prompts you to even like converse with them, let alone like, being very flirtatious with them is weird. Meanwhile, like his wife's right there. It's not like they just like angrily separated, when he left the room or something. It's just, it's so ridiculous. Like I said, like the absurdity of the whole situation is where the comedy comes in. Like the father of the family who found out that, his father.
Where everybody has cancer.
Yeah.
And now, you got to the part where he found out his.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, spoilers. I'm sorry, guys. About his father being gay.
Mm-hmm. I also got to the part where he was sort of flirting with the manager of the hotel.
I know. that was hilarious.
Like, I'm just waiting for that to actually happen. I didn't even know he was gay. It feels like it's bound to happen.
The manager, like the only reason I knew he was gay was when he was like the way he was talking to his one of his employees. Because I was like, oh, he's gay. I thought he's just because he's British or whatever the hell he is.
Yeah,
I thought
Australian.
I thought that was
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so he is gay. But yeah, that show. I mean, it was pretty good. So I haven't started watching the second one yet, of course, but I mean, eventually I want to just to see like, okay, so like this is I guess it's gonna be a new storyline because these are all new actors. I saw in that promo. Because yeah, I was confused about this show because I was like, these are the actors I see on that promo for the White Lotus season 2. I was like, where did it come? These actors come later or something? I was like, oh, then I realized like, oh, this is probably just a different story. But yeah, it's good. It's just pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we get to what we've been playing. So we move along. I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and talk. So I've been playing. I'm trying to get to my page here. Okay, here we go. So I've been playing this game Narco. It's new this year. It came out this year, but it's been on Game Pass for a little while. And it's like an old point and click adventure game. And it deals with like you kind of choose your own. You just kind of choose your character based on the choices you make. And it seems like you're in like a post-apocalyptic type of world or whatever. And look like you might be close to one of those Latin countries or something. I mean, because narco and stuff, you know. So, like I'm just at the very early stages. You play as a woman, and you are like based on your choices, like how you came back, the reasons you came back home, and reason why things have happened. So, I don't know how it play out. I still think it plays out that your mom is missing or she passed away. I think she passed away. So I think that still is part of the story. It's just if you had a good relationship with her or not or anything. It's really like those old style kind of point and click games. It is kind of in that 8-bit type of format, like that pixelated format anyway. I wouldn't say just 8-bit, but yeah. I mean, it's a cool story. It seems like if you're into those point and click games, those old type ones, you definitely probably can appreciate it. I mean, it's just up to you if you like the story or not. Because as far as just the controls and everything, like just figuring out what to do, like it's no tutorial. You got to figure out stuff yourself. But I haven't gotten to like no puzzles or nothing yet. Because I was just testing this game out. I was trying to find a game to like really grab onto just to play. This didn't do that, but not saying it's not a good game, but just didn't do that. I mean, maybe I'll go back and play it. Yeah. But yeah, it's all right, and it seems to be rated pretty high. Like that people like this game. So, because that's the reason why I tried it. I also played a little bit more Ghost Song. I got a little further. I got to the point where you do get that save point where you see that big giant robot or whatever it was, and they got that little. Or they got somewhere you can save, and that's where you're. I guess if you die, you go back there. I don't know. Yeah. So I travel a long ways. Like I was trying to find another place where I can get a save point because I was like, I want to stop playing now, but I couldn't find it. So I just said, well, I'm just going to quit. But I mean, it's Metrovania. I mean, it just has the same tropes of a Metrovania game, and it's fine. I like it. It's all right to me. I just I'm just not into playing that right now. So I mean, but I really had no problems with it. I played some more Vampire Survivor. I already talked about that game. I mean, I got further. I think I got up to, I forgot what level, like a level close to level 15. I don't know if I got to the 15 though, but I haven't got like a strategy now, but luckily I got some power ups that are stronger and so that they let me live longer. Man, it's just like, man, when I get a little health, I'm just trying to find these I don't know what they are. I guess like these fire bowls or whatever. And like if you hit them, they give you either coins or like food. And I just kept getting coins because I needed some food so that I can get my health up. But because eventually, man, those things, like there'll be some monsters you get that takes your health down really fast. So you gotta watch out for that. Yeah, the game still, it's fun because I was playing that while editing the podcast. So just playing that game, editing the podcast. Yeah, I had fun playing it. And what else have I played? I played some more As Dusk Falls, the story novel. What's it called? What they call it? digital novel type of game,
Visual
like it's
novel,
more interactive. Yeah, that's on Xbox Game Pass, and I just played like I don't know how to separate it. Is it a chapter or a book? Because it's not really a full chapter; it's like a segment. I just played one segment of it. It was good. It got a little tense because I played as one of the boys who are still escaping from the police, and you go into this person's house. Like the girl saves you because you fell out from exhaustion, but she doesn't know who you are or nothing. So just trying to pick the answers, just to not be suspicious and stuff, was kind of intense. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing that. And I played some more God of War. God of War. Go up to a certain point in the boss. Actually, no. Let me save that because you played it too. So let me go to play Persona 5 Royale. So that's the game that really grabbed me. So I finally went to Persona 5 Royale. I've been wanting to play it since it came out, but I just didn't want to pay for it at full price because I was like, I had Persona 5, so I was like, is it that much a difference to pay a full price for? Now it is different. There's a lot of extra stuff, and I give it that. It's a lot of new stuff and a lot of things I don't recognize. A lot of additional mechanics, not really mechanics, but I say like little games in there. Like there's one where it's like like a challenge where you use your you fight these different personas and you got to do certain things in there to get special prizes, and for example, like you're doing a fight and it says, hey, Lady Anne, if you use her to attack, you'll get like times 7 points, but you only got to use her. She has to attack though. Or if you use wind attack, you get like 2 times points or something like that. So you try to get a certain score so you get the most prizes. And yeah, I just played one of those because I think all I can do is beginner right now. And that was fun. And also now, since I got cheats, I can do a lot of things I never did before in the other Persona games, because as you do different activities, you spend it spends time. So like if you do something, time moves on and days go by. And thing is, like you can't do everything. So you have to pick what you want to do within that day, and like because each activity you do kind of progresses your like what's it called like your stats. Like you have the stats of like kindness, guts, proficiency, knowledge, and all that stuff. So each like different activities does things. Like you could read a book that might give you some knowledge, or it might like show you something to be more proficient. And it's like, or you can go to like do the batting cage. Like I didn't do none of the bat cage in the first game. I mean, in the Persona 5, because I just like I just went by the strategy guide to try to get as most achievements as I could at one run. So batting cage was not in play. Yeah, it was because batting cage was getting proficiency, but there was other easier ways to do that. So this time I'm saying, I want to try a batting cage. And the batting cage, I like it, but I don't like it. Like I still can't find the hook to really always get a home run. I still can't, because it's just the timing is always off for me. But since I got cheats, I was like, I can just keep playing. I can just keep paying for it. Then you only can play about 3 times though until they say you go to the next day. But since I set it so that when it goes to another scene, it still says the afternoon. So it's like, good. I can still do other things. I can still talk. I can talk to this person now. I can do this. And like, I was like, I'm breaking the game. I think only one time it crashed on me, but it wasn't bad because I saved it. And I knew why it did it. I just knew because it was a big story moment. So it got confused. It's like, oh no, you going back to this day? And that doesn't make sense. So I was like, this time. So I had to redo that. But yeah, they gave you all the DLC that they had in the original one. Like this all unlocked in this one. So I got new costumes. I think I put the one that's like if you were a dance group or something costume, because it looked all right. Of course, they got swimsuits and stuff. I was like, oh god, I say they always do the swimsuits. But But yo, I forgot how like perverted this game could be, because I did see that penis monster. I said, oh yeah, that's right, there was a penis monster in here. I said, Jesus Christ. And then the guy who you fight first, he's like a perverted like gym coach,
right?
And like he's like a famous volleyball player. He won gold medal, and y'all volleyball team is like the best. So, but he gets what he's want. Like he's really abusive to people on the team, or he sexually harasses the girls and stuff like that. So in his castle, his persona world, his palace, it's like you'll see like certain girls like bikinis and stuff, and then one of the girls who I forgot her name. I know her short for Anne. It's short Anne. I mean, the short version of her name is Anne. I forgot how you pronounce it, but they got like a version of her in like a bikini, all acting dumb, and so it's like that's how he sees her. And then like when you fight him, he's like this big blob thing, but he has this glass full of ladies' legs or something like that, in which he drinks it, it heals him. So you have to destroy the glass, and then he has like a mug too that looks like it's with the girl version of, his version of Anne in it. Almost like he drinks it and he was all like sucking on it, and then he spit it back out in the glass. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, how y'all just think of this shit? But yeah, the game is fun. Like I have fun playing it. So like that's the game I've been playing recently, and I downloaded Mass Effect 2 because I want to play that. I'm gonna want to play that again, like get back into that. Because I did play 1 last year. I just so I'm gonna put my saves and go through that, the Legendary Edition, because I'm just in the mood to play like a RPG in space. So since there's no Starfield, you know. I thought I'd be playing it now. I gotta
burn
play
yourself
something
out just in time for that game to release down. Okay.
Yep, I am. I'm gonna burn myself out, and then I'm gonna fight something else instead. So yeah, you can talk about Somerville, then we can talk about God of War.
Okay. Yeah, so Somerville came out this week. It's the game made by one of the founders of Playdead that then left and created a studio called Jump Ship, appropriately enough named. It basically follows the same. It
was a sinking ship, though. Was that a sinking ship happening over there?
I don't know if it was a sinking ship, but he definitely jumped ships. It seems like an appropriate name. It seems like maybe that's the way he felt. I guess we'll find out when we see the next game from Playdead. But it does the same kind of thing of a 2D side-scrolling kind of light puzzle game in a 3-dimensional space, but you're basically moving left to right. You start out basically as a family. You're just kind of hanging out in your house, and then as is shown in the trailers, not really a spoiler, there's some kind of galactic invasion or alien invasion of some sort. Kind of things go haywire. And then at that point, it happens almost immediately, so I'm not going to consider this a spoiler, but basically the father gets separated from the family and ends up with this kind of wristband that gives him some kind of powers to affect the environment around him. And then from that point, you're venturing out past the house, basically trying to find the rest of your family, and you're going along with your dog. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I'm just a little ways outside of the house. I've used the wristband a little bit to make things kind of, they turn into this weird digital effect. They kind of turn into cubes and disappear. Everything is being played out without words or anything like direct story. It's all through what you're seeing and kind of emotions, the same way Limbo and Inside played out. So it's very much in the same vein as one of those games so far. That's kind of where I am with it. I haven't gotten too far in it. It sounds like it's not a particularly long game, though. So I'm hoping between now, and the next time we record, I should be able to finish that off with the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, and I'll be off on Friday at the very latest if I don't get through it at some point over these next 2 days. So yeah, I'm liking it so far.
All right. So that's cool. Yeah. I mean, hopefully I can get to it, but at least you're getting to it. You record any of it?
Yes. Yeah. I recorded what I played.
That's cool. All right. So I guess we talk about God of War. So how you liking what you playing so far?
I am, last week I spent a good bit of time just kind of nitpicking it, but I'm into it more now. Just those little critiques are out of the way, and now I'm just into the game, into the story, and it's progressing. So I'm very satisfied with what I've played. It's probably another like hour and a half or so. Honestly, like when I was playing it last Sunday morning, and I was doing the thing where it's like, oh well, when I get to like this next event, I'll turn it off. But I kept like, okay, well, I'm just going to go see what's around this corner here, and then like something else kicks off. So it was definitely, kind of grabbing me a little bit more and pulling me through. I definitely want to see what that game has to offer. The kind of big fight that you and I both played near the beginning after the bear stuff, it definitely was kind of like the kickoff point for me, where it's like that and the cutscene before that, where it sets up the story a little more. Yeah. Definitely is what was like, all right, now I'm getting back into it. I'm ready for this. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I feel. Like spoilers, now, like when you fight Thor. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was cool. I mean, so yeah, that's really got me saying, okay, yeah, there's the big actions happening now. Yeah. And yeah, that was a cool fight. And yeah, I was interested in how, I knew he was going to be mad about his sons and stuff. Yeah. But I like how Odin, because like, hey, like those sons were useless. Yeah. But the two others, but not the other son though. But what's his name? The main bad guy in the first one.
Boulder was the main guy.
Yeah. Yes, but he wasn't. So yeah, his brother. But yeah, both it's but I'm trying to think of something. I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, because I just want to know what, like, Kratos, like, what is he trying to do exactly?
Yeah, because if he just wants a simple life, then Odin kind of offered that to him.
Well, yeah, he did. He did offer that. Yeah. So I'm like, if you don't want that, like, are you're gonna have to fight? It's like either going to have to fight, or you're going to have to just say, okay, we're not going to keep pursuing the guy they're pursuing, where his son was pursuing. So, but I'm like, dude, if you not going to do what Odin says, then it's like he's always trying to resist. I was like, what you resisting? She's going to keep coming after you because you killed her son. So, and then, well, Thor, I guess he won't if you decided not to.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's part of the problem, right? And maybe where Kratos is coming from, in that, like, they don't necessarily trust that Odin's going to be able to keep his word. He's going to tell you this, but they don't trust that that's actually going to be the outcome of it. So,
but I'm thinking like, yo, you got to get this, like, this boy, he's trying to get ready. It's like, when do you think he's ready then? Because she's constantly coming at. It's not like, oh, you got this many years to get ready. No, she's constantly coming after you. Yeah. Is it like, so? It's like, but you want to get rid of her sooner than later. Just
kill her and get rid of her, right? They're
but that's just weird. I was like, so what's? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is like, you just want her to just keep coming. You just keep avoiding her, and like, what kind of life is that? That you have to keep living in fear.
Time to go hang out with the Egyptian gods, Dominic. Get off the map.
They should be long gone.
Marvel says otherwise.
But yeah, that I don't know. Like that's because I'm saying it's like he seemed reluctant, but I was like, you have no place to. I mean, they know where you live. They just can't get there because of what he got some kind of some kind of spell that's supposed to be that's making it hard
apparently
to see.
Doesn't work anymore.
Well, I was about to say, now that Doden and them came, I was like, well, that don't work. So yeah, I mean, maybe he sees that now in the story of like, okay, we gotta actually stop defending and actually do some action, like playing defense, and actually do something to solve this problem of them to leave us alone. So who is this guy that Loki is looking for?
They are looking for what is his name? He's basically the Nordic god of war.
Okay.
And apparently he was like on the tier is who they're looking for. He's basically like the Nordic god of war. And apparently he was on like the giant side against Odin. So it basically sounds like they want to go to war with Odin. So I guess, God of War, that's what Kratos does best is kill gods. But it also doesn't seem like the beginning of this story so far that he's really looking for that. I mean, the first game, he was obviously just like trying to live his life as, and then Baldur came along and fucked all that up and whatever. I don't remember. Did Baldur kill his wife or did his wife just
No. His wife was already dead.
Yeah, okay. And then...
And I never knew. I mean, they did probably tell it, but it didn't sound like she was killed.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if that gets fleshed out in this one or something. Maybe that's what makes Kratos angry. He finds out that, the Aesir or whatever, the pantheon of gods for the Nordic people, or something happened and that's how she died,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the story is definitely grabby. I mean, I always wanted to know where it was going to go with this and how this ends, since it's supposed to be like an arc ending. Because I was like, oh, good. I mean, doesn't mean it's like an end of a God of War, but at least seemed like we might have closure. That's what I really want. Just some closure to the story.
I was admittedly a little worried because I saw somebody post on Twitter like the moment in the Thor fight, and I only saw like a second of it. I didn't see like even where it goes in that bit. But the comment was like, "Oh, they went the Kojima route," and I was like, "Oh my god, do they have Thor kill Kratos at the beginning of this game, and then you play as the little boy the rest of the game?" And then that moment happened where he killed him, and then he brought him back to life with the hammer, and I was like, "Okay, whew." Because like I could definitely see them going that route with this game. Like, maybe not early, obviously, but like at some point, because like if they're saying this is the end of kind of this grouping of God of War games, like it would not surprise me if they were like, all right, we're going to kill Kratos and then move on with a different character. And since Atreus is already there, like going along with him, but I'm just here for the ride. Curious.
Depending on how this ends, I was like, well, what can they do for another game? I want them to go to the like a Catholic route and have you play as Jesus, and you're getting revenge for your death.
Oh my God! See, like it's funny because we've talked like when we talked about God of War in the past about how like you could have went the route of like him killing all the gods, and then he is, the canonical Christian god.
Yeah, because like the what they had like the North Star or something show up or something. Yeah. Damn, I forgot what it was. Something like that.
But like like now he has a son. You kill the son, and I don't know, maybe Loki is Jesus. There's a guy on TikTok that like
you can't have no Jews in there though. That's the thing. Because they'll get you. You gotta call something else. I should just call them Romans or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, but that would be interesting. So I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much and like dissect it at this point. I just want to be along for the ride and see what they have to offer. I can pick it apart once they do what they're gonna do. If I don't like where it goes, but I'm hoping they pull it off.
All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break when we get back. Get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2012, 10 years ago. Let's see what games came out. Now, there's a lot of games came out because this is like basically the holiday season. So you get a slew of games, but we're only going to pick the best of them. Not the best, but the ones that's worth talking about.
Or the namely ones, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was a lot of Wii U stuff because the Wii U came out. So there was a lot of games that came out there, like the Mass Effects and Arkham City.
Yeah, all the re-releases, stuff like basically.
That. Yeah. Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 came out on the Wii U and everything. So, and Darksiders 2. Yeah, basically all the re-releases, like a lot of re-releases. Just to show that, hey, we can play the games that the other consoles can play too, even though they're about to go to the next generation.
Even though those consoles are about to be phased out.
Excuse me. All right. So the first one I want to talk about is Epic Mickey Power Evolution for the 3DS came out, and Epic Mickey 2, the Power 2 came out for all systems, not just the Wii.
Yep.
Because you remember Epic Mickey was a Wii game. It was rated okay. It was great. I didn't like the controls. If it was just regular controls, I think I would have liked it a lot more. I love the art style of it. I like the idea of it. I just didn't like playing it, like the playing as far as the controls. And
it was like that's Mickey what really and Oswald, right?
Yeah, Oswald the rabbit, a forgotten character that really never existed, but he existed. But the Power Illusion on 3DS, I know nothing about this one. So if you know something about it,
I think it was supposed to be like it harkens back to the old like Super Nintendo Mickey and the Castle of Illusion game, and I think it pretty much missed the mark. It got relatively low scores, somewhere between 7s and 5s basically.
Yeah.
So not really much to talk about. It was just kind of their attempt at the 1-2 punch of releasing a console game and a kind of big name mobile game at the same time, trying to piggyback off of one another.
And the Epic Mickey 2, one of the big things is that it had voice acting. They like the actual characters talk. Because I'm not sure the narrator talked in the first one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I remember this when there was like a song at the beginning. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like the villain was singing the song, and I was like, "Oh," because I remember I think I played. I think there was a demo for this game, but it also became one of those free games eventually too, on the Xbox 360. The rating I think the ratings wasn't that was pretty all right for Epic Mickey 2. No, never mind.
I'm guess surprised. I thought they were better than this. But maybe it was the first game was well reviewed, and then this one came out and kind of fell flat.
Yeah, that I am not seeing great
scores. It's wild to me that the official Nintendo magazine gave the Wii version of this game an 80, while it gave the Wii U version a 57.
that doesn't make sense at all.
Also, what's official Nintendo magazine? Like, that's not Nintendo Power, so...
And then you have Famitsu gave it a 32 out of 40 on Wii U. They gave it a high score. Now, compared to everybody else, you got 2 out of 10 on Destructoid, a C- and 1 up. Game Informer get a 5.75 out of 10. Yeah, darn. I thought this was like an okay game. I didn't realize it was that bad. Jesus.
Didn't realize you were playing trash, Dominic.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got here for 2012? We got new Super Mario Brothers U came out. So this is the Wii U version of new Super Mario Brothers. And I never played this one. So I don't know what's the difference between this one and the Wii one. I gotta say better controls. That's all I can say. But even though if you're playing not with motion controllers, because I think the controls were still fine if you didn't play with the motion controller on the other one. I didn't like using that. But if you just use like a rev controller, or I don't even like using it sideways, so I don't even want to say that. Like using one of those pro controllers or whatever. It was fine. And this one, I mean, I don't know if I don't want to say it's more of the same because I don't literally know what the hell was in this one. But it got an 84 on a Wii U. It only got an 80 on the Switch though. So wait a minute. So that's the one you played. That's the one you got on the Switch.
I just don't remember what the original, new Super Mario Brothers was compared to that. Like, I can't remember now if it was the same game with additional stuff or if it was a completely different game. They just continued to use the new Super Mario Brothers branding.
I think. Because I wonder why 84? Because I believe the other one got like probably in the 9s or something. The original one, on the Wii.
Okay, so apparently it is a sequel to New Super Mario Brothers Wii. So it's a brand new game from that basically used the same 2D format with multiplayer. Well,
Giant Bomb is probably the most critical. It says right here. It says everything about New Super Mario Brothers U is pretty exciting except for the game itself.
Rough.
Is it possible that this is the best game in the new series to date? Not to mention one of the best exclusive Wii U games on the market by default, and at the same time, kind of flatly uninterestingly. Apparently so. The game is perfectly well made for what it is, and I had plenty of fun playing it in the short bursts here and there. But at this point, At this point, the series by the numbers design philosophy is starting to lend the name New Super Mario Brothers a degree of unintentional irony.
Get him, Brad Shoemaker.
But yeah, so I can somewhat agree. Like, it was the same thing.
Yeah, he's not wrong at all there. I mean, even playing it on the Switch, it's very much, having not played the original version of it, but playing like the Wii version and the ones that have been coming out on the Game Boy or the DS, it's like, yeah, they're not reinventing the wheel here. They're still making very good Super Mario platforming games, but at the same time, it's like I just told you, like, I can't tell you the difference between a level from New Super Mario Brothers 2 on the DS, this game, basically at all. Like, they all just lump together to me.
Yeah, it's like just more levels. Yeah. All right. So another big one, because this is the release of the Wii U. You got Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
So Nintendo Land's release, and this is probably what everybody's favorite game on the Wii U, I believe.
It's definitely the most sold.
So it's basically like a party game, right? And this kind of uses
this was their functions. Wii Sports, basically, because it was the pack-in title that kind of showed off how you use this screen controller to change gameplay, and a lot of that stuff was one person uses a controller while other people use regular Wii remotes to affect these games.
Yeah, I mean, I never played this one either, because I always heard, there was nothing so special about it. I mean, it got Metacritic rating was 77. I mean, it wasn't horrible or anything, but yeah, it was pretty basic.
Yeah, as a pack-in title, I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah, exactly. So just to get you used to the gamepad and stuff. But yeah, I'm just thinking, like, it's only been 10 years since the Wii U. It feels so much older.
Yeah, it feels so forgotten. I mean, just even looking at that tablet, like the technology as far as touchscreens and everything that we've had since then, feels like it's changed so much.
Yeah, Zombie U, man, that was a big deal. For the Wii U, you can use your tablet and
look in your backpack.
Yeah. It didn't. I mean, it didn't come off that well. I mean, 77. I mean, it's not bad. Even though your game, I give it like a 9 out of 10. Darn, that was probably like Wii U scores thing compared to the Wii U games. Yeah, it was great.
I know there was definitely, like, this was one of the big launch titles because it was at the time exclusive, and also just like, it uses the touchpad in a novel way. Whereas a lot of the other stuff like Batman and even Ninja Gaiden 3 is just, it's port showing that it now finally has enough power, but didn't really use the touchscreen in any sort of like innovative way. It was just like, I can maybe choose my pause menu items off of here. But I think even Batman was like worse than that. I think people panned Batman pretty hard for coming out so late and on this sort of more powerful console and then just absolutely doing nothing with any of that.
Yeah, it eventually came out on other systems, just calling it Zombie, and getting lower scores.
Yeah,
because
the novelty was gone.
Yeah, the novelty's gone. Yeah, exactly. And they didn't have a pad. Yeah. They should let you use your phone. Can you hook your phone up to it?
I think it came out even after we decided we didn't want to do that with like those Tom Clancy games and whatnot, where it's like, oh, you can go on the bus and then you can play as the general, where you like have oversight of everybody that's in the first person game.
All right, here's a big one. Hitman Absolution. Like, I remember when this came out and how it got really well received, and I'm not sure about sales wise, but I mean, I just heard like high marks for it. I mean, you got a 79 on Metacritic, an 83 on PS3. I mean, like, this is high marks for excuse me, since the last Hitman game, because the last few Hitman games weren't that. I didn't really hear great things about them. The last few. This is like probably the first one since like I'm trying to think. Was there another Hitman that came out on the 360 before this one?
Was Blood Money on the 360?
I mean, but that was also on the
original. Or the Xbox One.
Yeah. It was also on the Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it was. But yeah, I think this is probably the first. It might be the first one. Yeah, it might be the first one like that's originally made for those generation systems.
Yeah, this one definitely felt like it was like the return to what people always thought of was a pretty high mark series, you know?
Yeah.
From like 2
and
whatnot.
I mean, when we got it for free on the 360, I always said I wanted to try it out, but I just never did. I always play like the first level, and I was like, okay, it's all right. And just never went back to it. I don't know why. I just never did, but I always wanted to try it. And even the new ones that's out now, that like it's free everywhere. I still haven't tried those, even though those were really highly regarded by people who are into the Hitman. So, but yeah, I just haven't done that. I mean, I'm not a big stealth guy, but I thought maybe that would draw me in, like, because maybe they do stealth a way that I actually enjoy it. So I don't know. I mean, it's just that it's so many games to play, man. So it's like kind of hard to decide, like, just to not play the other games that I know I'm probably really going to enjoy to try this one out. It's just tough.
Yeah.
All right. And did you ever play Absolution?
There might have been a demo or something, but Absolution fell in the time that I had played a little bit of Blood Money and then went, oh, I don't think this series is really for me. And then I played a little bit of the demo, like the first new one. And I was like, I can see where the fun is in this, but I don't know that it's still necessarily a game for me. So I think Absolution, even though it was getting more positive vibes, I think I was already kind of checked out of the series.
All right. So what we got here? We got Persona 4 Golden. So this is like a Persona 4 on the Vita. And they call it Golden. I think got some extra stuff. I'm trying to think.
It's basically like the Royale version of 5. And this is the first time I feel like I remember people really talking about Persona, like it getting the huge kind of groundswell here in America, at least.
I'm trying to. Okay, so this is probably. I think this is the first and only one that came on PlayStation Vita for Persona 4. They didn't get a. Did they get an original Persona 4 on Vita?
No, I don't think so. I think this was the first.
So this is their only. Yeah, this is the only version. So this is like considered like the best version, and that's why some people are upset because like, oh, they don't have Golden nowhere else to play but the Vita, and I remember that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for me, I heard Persona. I mean, I heard of Persona when it first came out, like because I read it in magazines. So yeah, I agree with you about the Golden, like really seeing and hearing a lot from just everywhere, like people enjoying it and stuff like that. 3 was I remember when 3 had came out, and that was like a big deal. Yeah. And that's when I started saying like, oh, so this series is still going, because when I read about it, I thought it was freaky. I was like, these kids shooting themselves in their head, but then I guess they stopped doing that. I guess I guess, yeah, they
stopped committing suicide, so the series continued. I was like,
yeah, because then you read about like suicides in Japan. It's like, holy shit, how they get away with that shit? I mean, that's why they stopped.
Because they don't have guns over there, Dominic, so they don't shoot themselves to kill themselves. They like jump off buildings
they might hang themselves and stuff, man. But that's more work. I guess the airsoft guards don't do much. It's just
hurt.
It is hurt.
The freedom of America, the ability to shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah, get that quick death. But yeah, Golden. Yeah, I always hear good things, and I have it on the PC, the PC version. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
but yeah, I always hear good things about this one. Even though I want to try 3 too. I mean, getting to 5 makes me want to go back and play at least up to 3. They say 3 is really the start off point for like the current Persona. Like, because 1 and 2 is they're back on PlayStation days, and that's when I don't know if you put the gun in the head in 3. I don't remember seeing that in 3. I think 2 was probably the last one. Maybe you shot yourself. Like it's not like when you shoot yourself. You're not really killing yourself. You kind of just change into your form, but it's so weird. Now you put on a mask, and then you take off your mask like you whip it off your face, though. So I don't know what's better, honestly. It's weird. These are weird games, but they're pretty cool because they add like that high school life and things to it. Like other than the dungeon crawling, like you live in the high school life and doing things and hanging out with friends and stuff. It's all right. It has. I mean, yeah. It's like I do want to try this game out one day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it got high scores. I mean, on the Vita, it got like a 93. Now on the PS2, it did come on PS2, but I don't know if it came on PS. Did it come on PS2 in America?
I
don't know because I just don't remember it coming.
Yeah, I thought everybody was upset that it wasn't coming to the PS2.
It said in North America December 2008. It was yeah, it said Japan don't remember. Hey, one of the first major exclusives for the console. It was re-released as a PS2 classic for the PlayStation 3 in April 2014. It must have been a niche game. I think it was still kind of niche, like because I just didn't hear about 4 as much as I heard about on PS2 days. I heard about 3, but I didn't really hear about 4. I don't know, but anyway, let's move on. We got PlanetSide 2. This is the
MMO
online, open world, like massive multiplayer first person shooter. And well, now it's free to play. It's like, well, I think almost all these games are.
If they still exist,
I just remember PlanetSide 2 I didn't really pay attention to, but apparently it holds a Guinness World Record for most players in an online FPS battle. So crazy. Take that, Mag.
How dare you?
It said it was like 1,158 players was in there. Were recorded in a single battle during an official event.
Man.
But they said the record was beat unofficially in 2020.
No.
When 1,283 players participated in a single battle.
But on the same game.
Service.
So PlanetSide would still have the record.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I didn't see I was thinking it was going to be a new game. So, oh, shit. So, yeah, PlanetSide 2 still holds a record. But I don't know any other game that can hold that many players.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean, I wonder what World of Warcraft does, but I wonder if it's because it's like split up into different servers or zones or whatever, so it's not considered for this record.
Yeah, and this is only for FPS, so that's the record. Yeah, so I was saying I don't know any first person shooters.
Battlefield, it's time to go big.
Fortnite will make it so more players could be on one map and then make them be in first person.
Right.
so they can just beat the record.
It's kind of petty shit that the Epic would do, though.
As I was saying, just like, and then take it away. Say, no, you're just doing it just to break a record. But yeah, PlanetSide 2, I remember PlanetSide more. Because that's same. With the early days of the MMORPGs. So I was curious about those things. So I was always looking at the new games that were coming out in during those times. And I remember like PlanetSide. I said, oh, that's cool. Like you you're actually like future space and everything, and you're fighting wars, and you got these non-realistic guns and things. So it caught my attention.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm assuming people liked it. I mean, because they're still playing it. I mean, it got an 84 on PC, and there was a PS4 version apparently that had came out, and it only got 78 up there, which is still all right. But I did not even know it came on PS4. But I don't know what the scores compared to the first one. I mean, I see some 9s. I see quite a few 9s, but then I see some 7.5s in there. That's what probably helped bring it down. But yeah, this is one of those one of those top MMOs out there, man. Like this one, EverQuest, I'm trying to think of games before World of Warcraft. What was the other one?
EVE Online.
Yeah, EVE Online. You got Ultima. But
yeah,
Ultima's old. Well, the latest. I mean, at that time, whatever the latest one was. I felt like there was another mech one. Was there a mech game? Like that was online. Recall. You see, I forget. I don't know. But yeah, I thought there was something else. But yeah, I mean, that was the early days, man. And then the explosion happened. Then when World of Warcraft came out, everybody started coming out with something. Now there's just like free to play. But you know what? Hey, I give it to whatchamacallit. I thought that was gonna not really be that great. Elder Scrolls Online or something.
That's still carrying on. Somehow.
And because that's still a subscription thing, right? I mean, I think it's a free to get in thing, but I think isn't there still a subscription to it, or they just take it away?
But it's like you said, a free to start kind of thing, get to level something.
And then you got hell, look at Fallout 76. As much as people were shitting on that game,
they're still releasing more content for it.
Yeah, and people are playing it. I mean, like I said, at the time, like Twitch, I was like, you know what? People have been down there. It's like, well, are these people playing it then?
Yeah.
Like, what is it so bad?
I think it kind of filtered out the initial people who were looking for it to be a Fallout game, and really kept the attention of those people that were fine with it being an MMORPG.
Yeah. See, and people like me who like to use cheats, see, that's not good. I can't. All right. So where are we at here? We are still got some games coming out here, and I went too far down. All right. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale came out. Yeah. This is the Smash Brothers version for PlayStation, and with PlayStation characters for the PS3 and PS Vita.
Yep.
So that was like, oh yeah, this is like Smash if it was like on the DS, 3DS, and on the wherever console it was, Wii U, I guess, or Wii. But
and also bad.
Yeah, yeah. So this game, first of all, I couldn't really get into it because of the load times. They were just too fucking long. And then I did not understand, like, you only can kill your opponent with the power up or something.
Yeah, if you had like your final Smash equivalent, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That whatever that was, and that's how you kill him. I was like, why can't you just knock him out? Just like, why don't you just copy Smash all the way? Just copy. Who cares? It's like you might as well.
We had to be different. People won't recognize it if we make it this way as us just copying Super Smash Brothers. Like, sure, guys.
Yeah, that kind of blew it for me. But the idea, I mean, I like that they had these characters, because I was like, hey, Sony got a ton of characters they could use. And then they got characters from other games, almost like what Smash has done these last few games. They've gotten characters from other games. So they did get BioShock, the Big Daddy. Then who else they get?
Well,
so I'm just looking at the cover right now. So
there were.
I think he was the only one. He might be the only one.
There's him. There's the guy from Tekken.
Oh, okay.
Which, mostly PlayStation, but not, They had Isaac Clarke as part of the DLC from Dead Space.
Oh, okay. So they did. Okay. So they had a few. I mean, they probably got more if this game was more popular.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, I didn't even know they had Zeus from God of War in this game.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was trying to figure out where Zeus was from. I guess that makes sense, though.
But it got a 74 on PS3, 75 on the Vita, the Metacritic. Yeah, when I saw the reviews for this, I was like, darn, I was a little disappointed. It's like, darn. And then when I got to finally try it out, I saw that, man, these load times just atrocious for this type of game.
Yeah.
So
it really goes to show, though, that they do have some decent mascots. They just don't really utilize them in that way. I mean, they're selling to a different audience than Nintendo. Like, they could very much use Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper, or even a guy like Parappa the Rapper's the guy from Medieval if they put Medieval games out more often. But they just, I guess, are catering to a different audience, so they don't really need that mascot game in the same way that Nintendo uses Mario and Sega.
I mean, look at the
Sonic.
first party games, the ones that sell. I mean, they're all like what, M or T? I mean, T is what Uncharted is.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ratchet and Clank is probably the only one that's. Is it E? I don't
even know if it's E because he's got guns. I wonder what he is. Let's see. Ratchet.
Mario Rabbits have guns. Is that an E?
No, that's a AO game. Let's say. It's a E10 plus. It looks like.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. They slot in there a little later.
Yeah, I mean, but they're big. The big ones they're all like mature. Yeah, so it's definitely like they cater to that audience because you shouldn't have a 10-year-old playing. Well, you shouldn't have a 10-year-old playing like the not Uncharted, but
My 3-year-old's gonna be playing God of War soon. I'm gonna be like, girl.
But for some reason, I'm more okay with them playing God of War than the Last of Us, though. For some reason, maybe because that's fantasy, like, and
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying that I had to choose one because the other one it's too real. It's too like Last of Us is a little too real, and it just it gets to those like, oh man, it can be really really dark. Like God of War, he's a angry man. Mm-hmm. He's an angry man, just killing monsters.
Exactly. Killing monsters. At least you have monsters in there. You're not just shooting other people or even weird zombie things.
Or stabbing them.
Very viscerally.
With dull knives, because they be some gruesome.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a big one. The big one that came out 10 years ago. The Walking Dead episode 5. No Time Left.
Yeah.
The last episode. Oh man, this was so sad, but it was so, this is so anticipated. And it's like, yes, it's finished. And it finished within the year. Yeah, so that was good. Yeah, at the end of the year, they finally got the last episode. And to finish that story, man, I was like, man, it was a great story. And it had a good ending. So I was like, yes, I'm not unsatisfied or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody probably knows the ending by now. Like Joel dies at the end. Like there's no other ending like you can get besides him dying. Yeah. It's unfortunate he didn't cut his arm off fast enough. So he could not get the disease, but yeah, it just sucks. It sucks because he just went under that damn. I forgot where he just picked something up and that zombie just bit him. I was like, God damn it! That's a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Was that in the last episode, or do they go through 2 episodes with him having been bit?
Oh no, nah. He got bitten at the end of 4, and then episode 5. You get to choose. You either cut your arm off or don't cut your arm off. And really, you probably just say don't because you end up getting sick anyway. Yeah.
I think I did. I feel like I remember.
I mean, I did both. I mean, I did. Yeah, I mean, the first time I did because I thought that would work. Because I think that was in the show. In the show, the guy did it. He survived. But actually, I think that episode happened after this. I don't remember, but I was thinking like, okay, it's a chance. So yeah, come on off. I was thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna survive. But then he still got sex. Oh, you did some bullshit. Say, oh yeah, I waited too long. Damn it. But yeah, man, great series. Telltale's, that was their breakout. Like that whole series to just do other things and then they got too close to the sun, Daniel.
They really did. They spread themselves too thin. They grabbed like every property they could and bloated their studio to untenable amounts, apparently.
Yeah. Well, now they're making a comeback. In a
something
different
is.
way.
Something called Telltale is.
Yeah, I don't think this is the same guys, but hope some of the workers who did lose their jobs are working there or other places. All right. So that is it for 2012. So now we're going back 20 years, 2002. So we got quite a few games for this year too, because it's Christmas. And this is where you get a slew of games. So we got to start with the big one. Metroid Prime for the GameCube has come out. This is what Metroid is in. I said finally, like people were just asking for this. But a first-person Metroid. I mean, going from 2D from the Super Nintendo, not even having a Metroid game on the N64.
Nope.
Only time you saw her was in Smash. So...
I think this started as a 64 game. There's like some footage out there of a 64 Metroid that never came to be.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, people were, I mean, myself included, I was very concerned about how like the platforming aspects of a Metroid were going to hold up in first person, and fucking Mad Lads pulled it off. Like it's extremely good, and adding like the visor scanning stuff.
What were they called?
What's that?
What was the developer
Retro
called?
Studios.
Retro Studios. Oh, you said Mad Labs. What's Mad Labs?
Mad Lads, like crazy people. They pulled it off.
Oh, I had never heard of that.
Okay. Yeah, it was impressive that they were actually able to take that franchise and significantly change it in that way, and still make an incredible game, but at the same time, you know, a different developer, but on the same day to release Metroid Fusion, which does harken back to that original kind of formula and stay faithful to that stuff, but also change that in a way that was really cool. Because in that, you know, you don't really have your traditional, you still get your different power-ups and stuff, but it's this kind of like, almost you're being stalked. It's like even more suspenseful than Super Metroid, where you had this like lonely feeling, but in this one there was like this constant state of dread, wink wink Metroid Dread, where like this virus is following you, like impersonating you, and like anytime you came in contact with them, you like could not compete, so you just had to run. It was cool.
Well, I had the Game Shark or whatever. And
you just blew a hole in them every time you saw them.
I don't know if I could kill them, but they couldn't kill me.
Yeah, no. I'm sure it wouldn't let you do that.
Metro Fusion, that was great too. And I used to like that suit she had, that Zero suit or whatever. That Zero suit, whatever that suit. What was it called?
The Fusion suit, I think.
Fusion suit, okay. All right, so yeah, because it's like you're fused with...
It was more organic,
Was it like what were you fused with?
The X-Parasite.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I knew it wasn't the Metro. Because I already thinking of Metro, but then they put all these other names and shit, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it was like the SAX, I think, was the main villain of that, but like the X-Parasite had basically infested your suit, but then like you got Metroid... The Metroid saved you by like spreading its DNA on you or something like that, so you survived the infection. But so it's like your suit is
possessed, right? With that other, with that thing. Okay, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, but back to Metroid Prime. Like I played that maybe. When the hell did I get Metroid Prime? This is 2002. I guess the next year, because I did get next year I did buy a GameCube, because I think GameCube went down like whatever it was. Yeah. It went down almost like $100 or something. I was
gonna say like 150 maybe. It probably started at 200. Yeah.
So that's when I got it. I got Metro Prime, and you know what? And it felt like this was not just a traditional first-person shooter, which I thought it was, and I was like, oh, got some puzzle stuff, but I was like, whoa, I'm really like just searching around places, and I shoot enemies sometimes, but it's like a regular shooter, but I'm doing these puzzles and something. I say, okay, this is just like a Metroid game in 3D.
Yep.
That's essentially what I'm doing. It's like I'm going back to places to get stuff and to unlock rooms that I couldn't that were locked before and everything. And just like other Metroid games, I got stuck and I ain't play no more because I got to the part when the aliens were then those new aliens, whatever. Those whatever, not new aliens, but the pirates or whatever. It was a lot of them, I guess, or something, and they were just killing me. And I was like, I can't get past this part. And then I beat it eventually when I think I borrowed yours, and I ain't borrowed yours. I played it on the Wii because I still had the game, and there was a cheat that you can use for GameCube games on the Wii, and I did that, and I got past it, and I was like, oh, good, I finally beat it. Yeah, and I mean, I got stuck a few times because I didn't know. It wasn't even about dying. It was just not figuring out where the fuck I'm supposed to go.
Same.
And yeah, so just like a regular Metro game. So it's true. It's true to it. It's true to the form. But that's essentially what it was. It really was Metroid in 3D, and which was that's kind of cool. Like I'm just seeing like the same thing like what you usually do in the side-scrolling ones. I mean, of course, just the play mechanics are different, but you're just doing it in a new environment, like in a new form. And yeah, they did a great job with that. I thought they really did a good job.
Absolutely.
With that game. And what we got here? So we got another big one, BMX Triple X. Came out on the PS2, and I believe it came out on everything too. It came out on everything. Yeah. But PS2 got the first release, and I believe what this game get, I want to say, not great scores. They got 54 on Metacritic. The highest score I see is GameCube, 60.
That's because it had the uncensored version, Dominic. The kiddie console had the most titties.
Oh, man. But yeah, I think this was like almost the end of Day Mirror, basically. But they killed the series. Seemed like it killed the series. This is the game that killed it. Because it's not even called, it was going to be called Day Mirror Triple X, BMX.
Yeah, and then he wanted his name off of it.
Yeah, he was like, no, I don't want these to be associated with this. I actually don't know why he left. I don't know why he took his name off of it. I wondered was it because of that?
I think it was. I think originally he was like, okay, we'll roll with this, and then he like saw it and was like, I don't want to be associated with this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, he may have good dick shots. They say, you make my schlong too small. This ain't gonna work.
He didn't support the censorship of the male human body in those games.
Yeah. All right, and another huge one, Mortal Kombat Diddy Alliance. This is the first fully 3D Mortal Kombat fighting game, and I did pick this up, and I didn't give it its due. I played it some, but I didn't play a lot of it because I don't even remember it. But I remember picking it up. I didn't hate it or anything, and it actually got okay scores. I mean, it got an 81. It didn't get great scores or anything, like.
It was still a big turnaround from 4, though. 4 was pretty short, critically.
See, 4,
panned.
I never remembered 4, and that's the thing. And maybe that's what is a good reason. I just don't remember 4 to even know it was bad. I remember 3 Ultimate 3. I remember there was a 4, but I just never seen it. So I didn't know how bad it was.
I'm wrong. IGN gave it an 8.8 out of 10.
What, 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Jeff Gerstmann on GameSpot gave it a 5 out of 10. He's on the right side of history.
Excuse me. But yeah. So this is, coming from that, this is definitely a big turnaround. And Mortal Kombat coming to the space of fully 3D. Like the other games, and they did well. So that 4 was fully 3D, right?
4 was, yeah.
Okay, see that's why. So this is a second fully 3D then.
Yeah, but 4 doesn't count. I support your view of let's just ignore 4 like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I didn't know about 4, man. For the longest, I didn't even know anything about it because I'd never seen it. I don't remember seeing it in arcades.
I saw it the most because they had one at Mr. G's, and we would go there to get burgers from time to time. And I would always look at it like, that looks so cool. And then I eventually played it somewhere, and it was like, oh no, this is actually not very good.
But this is the one where we see Liu Kang die at the beginning. I think that was that's how it starts out. And yeah, he was dead. He gets killed at the beginning, and I forgot who killed him. It was like 2 people,
like Quan Chi and the other guy.
Yeah. So I was like, oh no, not Liu Kang. I was a little mad. But that's as much as I remember this game. I kind of wish there was like I'm sure there's a way on a PC to play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of want to try it out again. This game, because I never played the one after this one, 6, and I never played 7. But yeah, but this was big. I mean, I was so excited for this. Oh wow, Mortal Kombat's here. But it like when I started playing it, it just didn't feel like I felt when I used to play Mortal Kombat. I think that's why I just stopped playing it. What else came out 20 years ago? We got Tom Clancy Splinter Cell. This was the Metal Gear killer. This is what people compare to Metal Gear. They were all talking about the graphics, how good it was.
Mm-hmm. You could shoot the lights, Dominic. You could shoot the lights. Yeah,
and I was jealous because it was on Xbox, so I definitely said it sucked. And I said, this game ain't any good because it's not on PlayStation. If it was any good, it'd be on PlayStation. So I say it was too powerful for the PlayStation. I said, bullshit. But yeah, I remember that dude at my high school. He was telling me, like, yeah, this is so much better, man. And I went over to his house to look at it, and it looked good. I said that, but I was like, yeah, but it's boring. I was like, this is boring. And I was like, he said, no, you just don't like how realistic it is. I said, that's probably what it is. Yep, I don't. I like to have supernatural shit that happens in my stealth games, my spy games, like in Metal Gear.
Like people to turn out to be vampires.
Yeah, but you talk about because you played this game.
Yeah, I ended up playing it on PC. I don't know that I remember having a PC that was like up to par, so I had to turn some of the stuff down. But for me, it was just like, oh yeah, I can shoot all the things, and also I wasn't an Xbox fanboy, but I was like anti-PlayStation. So I was like, oh yeah, this is so much better than Metal Gear Solid. It doesn't have all that stupid Metal Gear Solid stuff in it. But really, it was a really neat concept because you didn't really see stuff playing with lights and affecting gameplay in that point. Yeah,
and the shadows. Yeah, I did say that. That was impressive. The shadows with the lighting.
It was very novel in that. And, now we're talking about the remake stuff coming out this year. And, well, not this year, but, they're talking about like the 20th year anniversary, and they've shown off some concept art. Like the idea of being able to use like ray trace lighting and stuff like that for a new Splinter Cell could change it in like, another kind of evolutionary way like this game did. The weakest point of Splinter Cell was whenever they actually had you like get into firefights. Like the whole point of that game was the stealthiness of it and using the shadows, and that stuff made you feel like a super cool spy guy. But then there would be levels, like especially near the end of the game, where it's like, all right, well, we're just gonna put you in this like mansion or this library or something, and we're gonna give you a semi-automatic rifle, and you just gotta mow these guys down, but also you still take like 2 hits like you have this entire game, so good luck. And they would really miss the mark on stuff like that. But overall, that first game blew my mind when I was younger, and they eventually just killed that series.
Yeah, but it went a while. Yeah, quite a few games.
It did.
But yeah, that's my big takeaway was the lighting. Like just the look of the game was my takeaway, was the graphics, because I was at the age of a graphics whore.
Yeah.
And so that's what I cared about. But when I finally played it, I realized, oh, I didn't miss anything. I was like, this is not I wouldn't like this. If I had bought this on PlayStation 2, I would have forced my ass to play it, but I wouldn't have liked it like I like Metal Gear. I said, I don't have as good as lighting, but I was like, hey, it got a lot of other stuff in there that I like. So, and it has big giant robot. So I was like, this don't have a giant robot. I thought it was speed. I thought it was like cool looking, But yeah, this was the type of game I wanted to play. Yeah. All right. So another big one that came out, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out on the PS2. I wish I would have knew about this because I would have got this instead of Diddy Alliance. I did not know this was coming out. I did not see it, and I don't remember seeing it in Walmart when I went in Walmart to buy it. What Walmart did I go to? Fuck, because I went to buy Diddy Alliance. I don't know what Walmart was because it's just because now in my mind I'm thinking like it looks this Walmart looks so weird. The layout looks weird. That I don't think is one I really know. But anyway, yeah, I would have got this. I never knew, and I didn't know about this game until it was put on eBay or something, and you buy it for $100 or something like that, or Amazon, like somebody sells it for like $100 because it wasn't you couldn't get it nowhere else. So I was like, oh, there was a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PlayStation 2. And I actually think it was the twins at Target who told me. And that's how I found out. Because I didn't even know. Because I say, man, I wish that thing would have came on the PlayStation 2. I said I didn't have a Dreamcast, so I couldn't never get it. It was on PlayStation 2. I said, what? And I looked online. I said, oh my God, it was. And then I could pay $100 to play it. Oh, I was so mad. But yeah, I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was awesome. I mean, this ain't the first release, so this I don't know if we even talked about it. We probably did talk about the first release. I don't know. I think we did. But yeah, this game was just awesome. The graphics, like the art style, they have that anime art style with the Marvel characters.
Those
and
sprites
the
looked incredible.
Capcom. Yeah, man. I mean, I want that again. Like or they don't have to be sprites. I mean, not sprites, but at least like Dragon Ball Z. I just want look like Dragon Ball Z, like how they do theirs, and just make it into that anime style, like I'm playing a damn anime cartoon and a fighting game. I mean, because it just looks so beautiful. Like at the time, I used to love the look of the game. I just love watching it. Like it'll be in an arcade. I just love watching people play it. And when I get up there, I just smashing all type of buttons to try to do moves. But yeah, man, and didn't have that many characters. That's why I was so jealous of the Dreamcast because they had that game. I was like, damn, what's it coming to PS2? And I missed the mark. I missed it. Like it wasn't advertising enough for me, Daniel. That's what it was. They ain't advertising. They should have had commercials on TV. See, I would have noticed it.
Yeah.
I think there was actual commercials for Mortal Kombat Diddy Alliance, though. I think there was.
Probably, yeah.
Yes. All right, so what else we got here? Oh, we actually technically talked about Dead to Rights already because it was on Xbox. That was the first release.
Okay, it came out on Xbox first.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So yeah, because
remember.
that's when I was kind of angry. But then I saw, it's coming on PS2, but it looks worse. But it doesn't matter. I didn't have an Xbox, so I can't really compare it. Yeah. My friend got the game. He got the game. I think I borrowed it from him, but he had Dead to Rights. He really liked it.
Gotcha.
On PS2. He got it on PS2. And here we go. Here's a big one. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. So this is the year that I want to say Star Wars Episode 2 came out.
I believe so, yeah, because there was a game at the top that I didn't highlight, but was an Episode 2 game for the Game Boy, Star Wars, A New Droid Army.
Because this came out, Star Wars Episode 2 came out, I believe, like 2 weeks after Spider-Man. And I remember I was arguing with my friend. I was saying, because he kept saying, like, the Spider-Man biggest movie said Star Wars ain't going to be big like Spider-Man. I said, yes, it is. Someone kill Spider-Man. I said, as much as I like Spider-Man, I said that Star Wars is going to sell a lot. And it did. But Spider-Man was bigger. Spider-Man turned out to be bigger. It really, that's when I realized, oh, shit. Star Wars is not as big as I thought it was. I mean, it's big, but I was like, darn, people realize it sucks. Like the new one sucks. and I realized the new one sucks because I went to see it with a friend and he was disappointed. And I forgot the other dude who was with us. I think it was his cousin or something. And I was disappointed because I was like, only thing I liked was the Yoda fight. And I was like, damn, man, what the hell was that love story thing? and I was like, it was so weird. It was so weird. But this is one of the last Star Wars games that are coming out because of that movie. And Jedi Outcast, I remember my friend who used to live across the alley from me, he had got this game. And I was like, yes, I'm going to. So I came to watch him play it. And that game that's too powerful for a system because we started smelling smoke. And we had to take it out. And I was like, but it looked good too. I was like, darn it, man. I said, we can't replay it. Until he got like I don't know what he did that eventually. I don't know if he got a new video card or had to get new motherboard. I don't know what it was. Yeah. It didn't sound like it was that. But I know he didn't play it for a while until he got like he did something to his PC. Mm-hmm. But I knew I couldn't play it then. I was like, there's no point in you trying to copy this because my damn system sure ain't gonna play this shit. But yeah, I was really excited to look at it because I was like, yeah, I always heard about the Jedi Outcast, the first one, man, how good it was, and I just never could play it. And I was hoping that there will be a PS2 version to come out, and it never did.
Yeah. Even
though it did come out for Xbox and GameCube, and that pissed me off. I say, how the fuck they get it, but not the PlayStation 2? So I guess we didn't talk. I had to mention that PC version of this.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we already talked about the PC version. Yeah,
but this is huge that it came on Xbox. I mean, of course, it's going to look worse there and everything. But hell, I mean, I didn't have a PC to play it. I mean, so really, and technically, I would not have known what it looked like. I knew briefly what it looked like until my friend's computer almost blew up. But yeah, I was a little mad. But I was like, oh well, at least I said, you know what? We got Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Yep.
Because I think that was the I don't know if it came on other systems. Maybe it came out later.
On GameCube later.
Okay, it came on later. Yeah, they got it later. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, we got this game. But then I saw reviews for it. I was like, oh shit, I don't care because they weren't good. It was a 65.
We finally got the Boba Fett game. That's actually a Jango Fett game. Yeah. Metacritic got 65. Man, yeah, because I read the review and official PlayStation Magazine gave it a 7, and I read the Game Informer one. What did they give it? They gave it a 5. Yeah, 5.75. Oh, God. So, yeah, I was disappointed because I was looking forward to it because that was a cover story. That was a cover story on the game, official PlayStation Magazine, and I was reading up on it. I was reading about because I was really into Star Wars too, so I was like reading up on the new Jango Fett. So it's like, oh, cool, they're going to have this guy. And, yeah, both things turned bad, the game and the damn movie. I was like, damn, I'm just getting fucked in both ways, man. So, yeah, what the hell? I said, well, thank God for Spider-Man. Oh, but the guy who speaks for Jango Fett he reprised his role in that. That checks out.
He was in the PlayStation 2 game. So, and you know, it's the same guy who does Boba Fett. So yeah, he stayed with that character, man, for goddamn 20 years. 20 years, man. All right. So that is it. That is it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get into the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. Fans of Dead Island will have to wait a little bit longer for Dead Island 2. It is being pushed back again.
We waited so long.
Well, you're going to have to wait just a little bit longer. This one's not too bad. It's getting delayed from February 3rd to April 28th of 2023. So just a couple of months. But it sounds like it needs a little more time in the oven. What's that?
That's it. It's going to be my Valentine's Day gift, man.
Yes, there you go. Just in time to finish that off.
No, I'm saying it's not going to be my Valentine's Day gift now. I'm upset.
Oh, right, because it's being delayed.
Yeah.
I put them in the wrong order for me to competently just look at it and go, oh yeah, February. That also implies that I know when Valentine's Day is, Dominic. Bad partner. That's what I'm saying.
April 14th.
Yes, Sonic's release day. That's how I remember that day. Yeah, so it sounds like it just needs a little more time to finish polishing up and come out. At this point, like, it's been so long that this game has not come out. It feels like, okay, what's another couple of months? I can't imagine
everything.
I mean, maybe there are some people who are like such big fans that they're just absolutely devastated by this, and I'm sorry if that's the case, but like, you'll be fine. Just wait a couple more months. In some other news, we talked about Somerville earlier, but the publisher Thunderful, who has put out games such as The Gunk, which is on Xbox Game Pass, and Lego Brick Tales, a couple other things that are well not known. They actually acquired Jump Ship Games, the developer of Somerville, already. Basically, they announced they were releasing, they congratulated them on releasing the title and also announced that they had purchased them in the same
I'm
way.
one of the guys going to jump ship again.
I think the article that I was reading, and now I didn't even think about like the humor behind that, but basically mentioned that the person that had started the studio was sticking around. So yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, at least until the paycheck clears, Dominic, and then it's time to roll. But I mean, as with everything in the video games industry right now, it's getting consolidated. Because we also have another story. Volition, the developer behind Saints Row, has been acquired by Gearbox. So
why did I think they were together?
They're getting rolled into them.
For some reason, I was thinking like maybe because it's same kind of zany humor, somewhat, I guess, like Borderlands and the Saints Row games and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean. So, you know what? Yeah, them being together, I wonder what that means. I mean, it's unfortunate about that last game. Saints Row not being good. That definitely hurts it. But Volition has done other things besides Saints Row. Even though the only thing I can think of is Red Faction and that other game that was basically like Saints Row, but it wasn't the one I beat. What was it called?
The not multiplayer multiplayer.
Yeah, that should have been multiplayer one. That should have been multiplayer. Darn, I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I mean that game was actually all right. But yeah, I hope this is good for them or Gearbox. I mean, I hope this comes out to be good for those guys and they put something out that people like.
Yeah,
something original. Shit.
Exactly. Agents of Mayhem.
Agents of Mayhem, yes.
I didn't see it yet, but as soon as I saw their Saints Row, for some reason, it popped into my head. Yeah, Agents of Mayhem, the game that should have been a multiplayer game. Meanwhile, Avengers should have been a single-player game.
Single player.
Which I didn't put it on here, but Avengers is still getting content. They're going to be getting the Winter Soldier. So, I will give Square Enix and the people over there working on that game credit. They are continuing to support that game.
I want Spider-Man, though, on my Xbox and PC.
You're never getting that, Dominic. You get it on PC when you can emulate PS4 games. That's the only time you're going to get that. All right, Dominic, and some other news. Ubisoft and Riot, the developers behind League of Legends and Valorant and whatnot, are teaming up to combat disruptive online behavior using artificial intelligence. Basically, they're going to feed awful people into a database and then find those awful people on other platforms, it seems
I just want to know, how does that work?
It's going to recognize like the first couple syllables of like offensive words, and then it's going to censor you.
And if you say the word Jew, you are definitely gone, no matter what you're using it for. But
only
I don't know
if you're prominent in media, either an athlete or entertainer.
But what was I about to say? But what about behavior? So you think it's just going to be about words? Because I was thinking multiple.
No, I think it could also be, like quitting games in a way or something like that. I don't know how you combat that kind of stuff.
And that's what I want to know.
Replacing them with a bot.
Yeah,
which more games
not just
don't do enough as is.
But the people who just kind of just disrupt the game itself, like they're not playing as a team and they're just or like in Halo, or when a guy he kept doing team kill and just killing us and shit. Well, they do have. So I think you do team kill a few times, you get kicked out. So that can be.
You can also vote to kick them, right? Doesn't it like initially do that if there's a team kill? It's like, do you want to vote to kick this guy?
But there's other ways to disrupt, like maybe, I don't know, like in Overwatch and shit, like maybe people just they're just doing something.
Play your class.
Not just that, like that, not playing good, but like they're just fucking around and not really doing anything. That's why I know, can it combat that, or will it AI know? And then if it does, I don't like it because they know too much. They know too much, and we need to shut it down. I think what they're
basically doing is just building the world's most racist robot is what's going to happen from this. Yeah, you're going to get Skynet, but it's going to, just use a whole bunch of offensive terms. It's a bad idea, Dominic. I don't know. It's funny because like all the comments I saw were like, "Oh my God, they're going to censor us," and it's like, you really think it's going to be like that harsh? It's probably just going to stop you from saying the N-word,
But that's censored, Daniel.
I know. We saw that on Twitter, instantly going up as soon as Elon Musk takes over.
Say it.
Yeah. I just want to say it so bad, Dominic. Yeah, I don't know where that goes. I mean, that's a pretty big partnership. I mean, Ubisoft is a very big company, and Riot is like top dog in multiplayer games right now between League of Legends and Valorant. They have, especially kind of like this niche space of like Twitch, it feels like is catered to or dominated by Riot Games. Like Valorant feels like the number one first person kind of that game on Twitch, even if it's not the biggest name, like even if Overwatch is more popular at any given time or whatnot, it's kind of weird.
And now that Overwatch is free to play too, I mean, Valorant is free to play, it's easy to get into. Overwatch 2 is now free to play, but I want to know, it was like, hey, these people, they're into Valorant, and people are already bitching about Overwatch 2, So I don't know, and I don't know what to say, which one's good or bad, because I'm not into those games like that, and I haven't even tried Valorant. One day I might try just to see and then cry when people tell me they don't like
cry because you haven't been playing it this entire time. You've lost time.
Yeah,
because you haven't played Hyperspace, right? Or Hyperscape or whatever it was.
No, I did. I played for one time.
Okay.
When it first happened, I played one time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay.
The Ubisoft one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that would. It's been so many that got canceled. That didn't get canceled. That's still going.
I think that got canceled. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to think like how many games Ubisoft like just continues to support despite seemingly nobody playing, like For Honor forever. But then they finally found the game that they were willing to just kill outright. They were like, all right, we're done here.
So we're
they
not
probably
making
just
a dent
saw like
in
the
this
space was just so full of other games already that like nobody's making a For Honor style.
No.
So, all right, Dominic, and then this last story I got here. I woke up to this news, seeing it on Twitter early. I think. Friday morning. Too. The co-creator of Sonic and the creator of Balan Wonderworld are recent
that's the best game of the
fan favorite. Yuji Naka has been arrested in Japan for insider trading. Allegedly, he bought stock in the developer Aiming before the Dragon Quest Tact game, which is a mobile tactical RPG set in Dragon Quest universe, was announced. Obviously, that would seemingly boost their stock price because everybody loves Dragon Quest. And it sounds like he used some pre-knowledge to make some money off of that. Now, I haven't seen it reported yet whether he has sold the stock since then. There were also 2 other Square Enix employees or former employees that I believe were swept up in this before this announcement came. But obviously, Yuji Naka being one of the co-creators behind Sonic is kind of the biggest story out of all of this.
I know, damn shame. But he must have known, like, so how did he get caught? Like, somebody who snitched on this man? It's like, who snitched? Like, cause everybody, I mean, in that world, like, everybody does inside trading. You just don't get caught. That's it. So somebody snitched on this
or
man.
You get caught and nobody fucking cares. Like, that's what it really feels like. I wonder how seriously they take a crime like this in Japan, because there are some crimes in Japan that we wouldn't take seriously. Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Oh, they do like the Yakuza. They cut off a finger or something like that. They cut off.
Oof. Maybe next time we see Yuji Naka, he's got 2 less fingers.
Oh, but no. Yeah. I mean, this is bad. But I mean, I'm okay with this because he hasn't put out a good Sonic game, so I don't care. So the hell with him.
This is his punishment for putting out Balan Wonderworld. Yeah. That's, they wouldn't have caught him if it wasn't for Balan Wonderworld.
And let it Sonic becoming what it is now.
Yes. Yes, you let this happen. You let Frontiers happen. You've probably been gone from the series for many decades.
He could have stirred whatever he left. I don't know when he left. He could have stopped it. He could have stopped it at the Sonic 3D and said, like, okay, we ain't doing nothing like this shit. Sonic 3 on Genesis is like, this is going the wrong direction.
Yep. Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
So at least
we
know Dragon Quest Tax is coming out because I'm going to want to get that for my mobile.
It's a mobile game, Dominic. You don't want that.
Yeah, I know exactly. I mean, it sucks. But isn't Dragon Quest 10? I saw some people talking about it. Like, I guess there's a way to play online, like just with the Chinese or Japanese. I don't know. Because I think it's in China. I think Dragon Quest, that's the online one. I think that did come out in China. But is there anything about it coming into the US or something? Like, for people to play it? Or they would.
Let's see.
Or maybe these guys, they figured out a way, like, just to get on the servers or something. I wonder. I forgot where I saw it.
I know people have done that with, like, Phantasy Star and stuff like that in the past, so that wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Dragon Quest X offline releases in Japan and US September 10th. While the game is Japan only at the moment, we are waiting. What? I don't understand. I feel like this is like an AI-generated article.
Yeah.
Because, like, what is Dragon Quest X offline?
That's how I think it was. I did hear somebody say, hey, the offline, and maybe they're saying they want it to come over here. I did read about that. I did read about going offline. I'm just curious, like, what kind of game was it that it could be played just offline? Like, because I never really knew what type of game it was. Like, is it could just be like a regular RPG? Like, what were you doing before?
Right.
In the MMORPG? Like, you weren't being with other characters? I thought it was like there was other heroes or something. Like,
apparently there wasn't a PC version that came out in Chinese.
Okay, I remember that some time ago.
Yeah. Man. Dragon Quest offline. Such a weird thing to do. Like, here, we just stripped out the online components of this. You can play this, I guess, now.
They should do that for Fallout 76. Like, I don't have to be on the server and still play it.
Pretty much.
You gotta pay for that shit. I mean, like, if I want to pay for it, I was like, can I pay for it? I can play it offline? Like, all right, I was saying, like, with Fallout 76, you got that tier where you can pay for it and be private, so you can play, like, by yourself. But I'm thinking, like, yo, I'll pay for it, but can I just be like a regular game so I can play not on your server or anything? I don't want to just private server. I just want to play your game. So I can use goddamn my cheats. Right. That's really what it is. I probably would buy it.
They'll do that eventually, Dominic. In 20 years, they'll release Fallout 76 offline edition. But the unfortunate thing is then all games will be online, so you'll still have to be connected to the internet. It'll just be playing with robots instead. All right, Dominic, that was our news for the week. Did you see anything else?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right. We got new releases then, Dominic. We got Goodbye World now out on the Nintendo Switch. That was one of the games mentioned last week in the indie event, as well as Wobble Dogs. That one is also out on the Nintendo Switch and featured in that Indie World event.
So
from
they
Nintendo.
Have not come out on PC. These are not on PC also. Or have they come out?
Wobble Dogs was previously on PC. I don't know about Goodbye World. I feel like when we looked that up last week, that was a thing I'd only seen on Switch.
Yeah, it just seems like these games are announced, but they've been on PC for a while. Then now they just finally come to Switch. I mean, that's good. It's just that it's funny how I never heard of these games, but now I know them because they're coming on Switch. But I ain't here when you.
It looks like Goodbye World also released this week on Switch or on Steam as well.
Oh, okay.
Not sure why Wiki didn't have that listed for both there. Yeah. So we also have the Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me. That's out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series.
Yeah, those games will always look creepy.
It feels like they are just pumping these things out. I know they're anthology games, which to me indicates that maybe they're on the shorter side, but it feels like every couple of months I'm talking about a new Dark Pictures Anthology game.
See, you remember back in the day, you always get those kind of what you consider B movies, but they still came out in theaters. Scary movies and stuff. They mostly be funny, but they're supposed to be scary. I guess this is because you don't see that really a lot. I mean, I guess you maybe on the streaming services you might can find them, but I guess it's their version of doing that. Some horror movies that's hey, I can't get it in Hollywood, but I'm gonna make a game out of it. It makes it better. It's this will be shit in the theaters, but it's fun
it's
as a game. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. All right, we also have Oddworld Soulstorm Optimized Edition for the Nintendo Switch. I feel like they couldn't call it the Optimized Edition, even though I know it's supposed to be wordplay, because it probably doesn't run very well on the Nintendo Switch. We also got...
Oh, darn. I have not seen the Oddworld. God, I forgot about that game.
Yeah. It came out as a PS5 launch exclusive that was on PS Plus and then kind of came everywhere else. But
yeah,
it kind of came and went.
Automized. I like how this is automized edition.
It's clever.
Yeah.
They also have Goat Simulator 3. That's now out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series, consoles.
Oh, shit. That's out. Damn.
Yep.
I didn't even know.
Of course,
I'm still finishing 2, man.
Yep. Skipped out on Goat Simulator 1. We're now moving on. We also have Somerville. That's out on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series. Talked about that a couple of times now already. Also out now on Xbox Game Pass, which Somerville is. Pentiment, that is on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles. That is the game from one of the lead designers of Fallout New Vegas, coming out from Obsidian. It looks kind of like a medieval art cartoon kind of thing, and apparently it's kind of like a choose your own adventure thing, like we were talking about Citizen Sleeper beforehand. It's kind of like that. So I would like there to have been voice acting in it, just because I'm not much into reading my games anymore. But it seems like they're relatively short conversations, maybe a little more digestible. So
can they at least they should let you in these games, let you download those apps like I do for reading, and if it's not audio, so they can have an audio generated woman or something or man, whatever voice you pick, just to read it for you.
I mean, even for just accessibility, for people that are, maybe.
Yeah. They can't see that well. Yeah. I forgot what that disease is where you see words not as a normal person would. I forgot. It's you see it all kind of scrambled up and not
just dyslexia.
Yeah, it's not dyslexia. Nah. I forgot what it was. It's one of those super rare diseases.
It causes problems with your ability to read, write, speak, understand. I mean, that seems too much. Anyway, all right. Next up, Dominic, we also have Spider-Man Miles Morales. That is now out on the PC.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the mods. It's so new, so I'm waiting for more mods to be developed. To
I understand
play.
You want to play as the real Spider-Man in this game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna replace them with the white one, or replace him with Tom Holland, because that's basically what he is. He's just Miles Morales, the white Miles Morales. because he has
an
Asian friend.
His friend Ned, yeah.
Asian friend, and he has a biracial girlfriend.
That's true. Yeah, so that looks good. One of these days I'll play Miles Morales some way, shape, or form. And then we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Dominic. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch. Scarlet, Violet being two separate games. Reviews are being kind, I would say. I was telling you beforehand, like from what I've seen, it's like 7s, 8s, which to me is a very low score for a Pokemon game. Like a Pokemon game is a good one should be baseline 8.5 to me. And all I'm seeing are just people talking about how poor the frame rate is, how poor the graphics are, how many glitches and bugs they're running into. And sure, that might be skewed, but at the same time, like, as we've talked about for several years now, like these Pokemon games are basically playing catch up to like GameCube games at this point.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The fact that you can't pull that off on a system as powerful as the Switch is offensive to me.
Yeah, that's you. It's all on you. I can't blame the system for its limitations for that, because the way that game looks is like, no, the game looks, and the things you do in the game is like, it shouldn't be that difficult. As far like, it shouldn't be difficult in a way that, man, the system's so limited. That's why it's running so slow. You can't use the excuse like Gotham Knights guys did and say like, oh no, we hold it back because of a criminal sin. Yeah. I'm sorry, your game doesn't even look like it. Looks like it can run on a Wii U, and like you said, a GameCube. I mean, it's just there's no excuse.
And you made a good point. Like they're only designing this game to run on that hardware specifically. So like, it's not like you're stretched thin with resources and it's like, well, I had to make the Xbox One Series or One X version, and like, it's just not as good. This is the only place I can play this game, and it doesn't run well. Like, design the game for the hardware that you have. I mean, maybe they're designing it for the, oft-rumored Switch Pro, and then they got their legs cut out from under them when they didn't actually release a Switch Pro.
That made me, you know what? I wonder, Daniel. I wonder. Too bad that you can't get investigative reporters in Japan.
But even then, like, then we're getting into the territory of, like, the DS versus the new DSi or whatever it was, where you get the Hyrule Warriors game that runs like absolute trash on the old hardware. And it's like, even if you were designing this with the new Nintendo Switch in mind, I should still be able to have a decent experience on the Nintendo Switch. And that's not to say people aren't having a decent experience, but it's just so disappointing when you're seeing games like Mario Odyssey come out several years ago and running just fine. And it's not quite the same level of open world, but we saw Breath of the Wild come out at launch and work just fine, with the exceptions of some areas, which it did struggle with. But you take those lessons.
Yeah, exactly.
And you avoid making areas like that then. As far as I'm concerned.
And, I mean, compared to what we I saw in those Switch showings, like the Nintendo, what they call it? The Nintendo show that you see when they show off the game?
The Directs.
Directs, yeah. I'm like, it looked fine. So what the hell was that on? What was I playing on?
That was running on a PC. That was our development hardware.
It's on the Yuzu. It was running on a Yuzu. That's what it was running on.
We joked about that earlier, but like, it feels like this game is like, the only way I'm going to play an acceptable version of this is if I emulate it and somebody mods it or whatever to make it run better. It's just so disappointing. Especially when you already released a Pokemon game this year. You didn't need to rush this one out the gate to make this happen. Like, shit, man, you could have gave Arceus or whatever. You could have gave that one more time and released it now. Because you had just released Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, last winter.
Yes.
The end of last year.
We're getting 3 Pokemon games in 12 months. Like, that's unnecessary.
Yeah, they must know the end of the world's coming or something.
Because they're going to be the cause of it. A giant Pikachu comes down to swallow the earth, Dominic. But yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. I think I got my fill with Sword and Shield for now. I'm still a little more tempted by the one that came out earlier this year because the setting seems different, you know, going into kind of feudal Japan, and also the kind of different gameplay elements that they added there. I feel like those are more interesting than what I'm seeing out of this latest one. So if I find myself getting a Pokemon anytime soon, I feel like it'll probably be that one. And I might even find it for like $2 cheaper because it's been out for a year. And that's how Nintendo games drop in price. Yeah, those are our new releases, Dominic. You got anything else for the people?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out, for now at least, on Twitter, as long as it still exists. It seems to be a burning dumpster fire from day to day.
I was very confused about what's going on over there. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
sounds like they don't have a payroll department anymore. So good luck to everyone that is still there. And hopefully you can still get paid, and hopefully you guys can get better jobs if you have to leave.
Yeah, Google.
But yeah. Google Stadia, maybe.
Facebook, even though they laid layoffs too.
They just laid off 100,000.
That's switch places. Just switch places.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Move into the metaverse. All right. You can also find us on our website, superpod.com, SUPAPOD. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and also YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right. See you.